Alright, fellas, we'll do this shit a little bit different, right? Welcome to VHB Engine's podcast. I don't have an official name for it yet. I don't know if I'm going to change the name or if I make a new name or whatnot. I guess I'll do. If I do, you'll find out because I'll let you know, or you'll just see it on the video. I mean, shit, I could fucking make up something before I even upload this. Who knows? But for right now, welcome to VHB Engines. Hopefully, same as normal, a little bit different. We're going to do some long form. I guess it's going to be kind of a little awkward. I did see a reason to have a third person sit here, and there was actually at one point in time I was thinking about bringing my wife, just that way I can have somebody behind the phone to check battery life and also make sure we're actually still recording, because I mean at a certain point I can get carried away, he can get carried away, and then not look up at the phone and not be recording, and then we got to try and stop and figure out what the fuck was said and where we lost it at. I don't want to do that. Breaking conversation in the middle of something and then trying to go back to it fucking sucks dick. I did put on airplane mode this time. We're good on that, so no interruptions from the outside. But anyway, so happy birthday. All right.
Thank you, sir.
And okay, so I knew that there was gonna be a problem with the issue with the balls. All right. So the other day I was talking to you, right, and yes, balls. Not having balls to do it, right. So I wanted to be able to talk to you first because I knew that there's somebody I could actually count on to fucking step up and do it when I was a little bit worried about people responding and asking, actually stepping up to do the podcast because of the fact they're being nervous about it, right? So that's what I was talking about the other day when I posted that fucking little catchphrase. And I'm like, how the fuck do you expect to be seen if you're unwilling to step out after your safe space? Sure. And that thought was pretty funny that you were the first person to answer to that, because I was like, oh yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about. Right, so and this stuff, of course, you being the person that I talk to about all my inner monologue shit that I can't talk to my wife because she's either half listening or doesn't really give a fuck. No problem there. It is what it is. But what was I gonna say? Let's talk. Step up. So, going to reach out and talk to people, right? There are people that want to see it, and there are people that are interested to watch.
For sure.
But getting somebody actually to step out and sit down to be on camera is a whole nother thing. What I talked to you about before, being that sitting in front of a camera and actually just talking isn't as easy as most people think it would be. Sure. Until they find themselves stuck in a position where they got the camera on them and they're trying to talk. And then it's like, yeah, anyway, like, so it's something you can dig up if you're ever curious or interested into. My old videos that I originally did when I started trying to do like video intros to the channel or whatnot that nobody ever really pays attention to, thank God in my case, so they're still there. You just gotta dig for them, but they're awkward as fuck. And of course there's like 20 outtakes that I fucking uploaded and deleted. And
I said bloopers reel.
Right? Shit. So I thought that I was gonna have to. I thought that editing was gonna be something I was gonna have to always do. Like I was like, well, if I just freeze up or do anything stupid, I'll just edit out, right? And then the very first time I did that, edited on Windows or what, I was at it for like an hour and a half for like a fucking 2-minute video. And I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So we're just gonna roll through it, and if it's fucked up or whatever. So nowadays, if I'm cutting and splicing together, it's only doing engine builds where the labor is just too long and tedious. Sure. So I break it up and bring it back together. But hopefully I'm not gonna be doing that no more, or not doing it too often. And I know people still bug on that and still talk about shit like you don't have any music or backgrounds. Like fuck you, fuck the music, fuck the backgrounds. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, there's so much of me just sitting and talking that if you're not here and used to that by now, then what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. So okay. Alright, so we talked about this a second ago. Me getting into the fucking Honda scene the very first time that I was interested in cars was my very first race I was ever in. Like the very first real race, hatchback, B20 swap versus a homeboy's fucking turbo single cam Accord. It was amazing. I got to ride in the victory car, right? The B20. The B20 whooped that car's ass. It was beautiful. And I was on a highway. If it had been on a highway, it would have been a different case, because like I did eventually see that Accord on the highway, and it did pull slightly, only slightly. But not not by much. Anyway, it was the B20 B6. So what was your first time?
My first Honda, well actually it was Acura, was DA Integra GSR. I bought it wrecked from a friend. He needed the money. The car wasn't hit bad. He needed a headlight, fender, bumper hood. Pick up the car. At that point, I really didn't know too much about Hondas. I picked up the car, and it had a B17. Never heard of the motor before, didn't know anything about it. Thought it was weird. Everybody's like B16, B18. I'm like, no, B17. No, you're wrong. I was like, look, it's on the motor. That's what's got to be here. It's like, all right, fix the car up, whatever. Came with some little wheels, and it was my first like real import besides the Supra, and got to drive that car around. Got a real feel for it because it was responsive. So that's it. You know, still before the hydraulic transmission. So it was good. Like I got into it then, started going out to 27, and then of course blew the motor of that car, and got further into the Hondas. So.
How old were you when you did that one?
That one 19.
Oh, about 10 years ago?
Yeah.
10 years ago.
10 years now, yeah.
So you met your first Honda when I met my wife. Oh, shit. I got you by a little bit of a head start.
That's it.
So, okay, so I know that, so when did you get into the towing? A plug for Blitz Towing if you didn't know. Yeah,
Sure.
I think we'll get into that in a second. That feeds into another part of the story. So when did the towing start?
Started like 2015, and before that I worked in an office, decided I hated it, and then wanted to get out in a tow truck, because I had a repossession before, so started towing, and of course that opened up a whole lot of opportunity as well, getting these Hondas and Acuras, and opened me back up heavy into the import game. I was picking them up cheap, buying them, selling them, fixing them, racing them, and getting to make my own thing for them, and then I became known as Blizzy for the Honda parts. So I was towing in Hondas, and that's really all I had. I started buying them, parting them out, fixing them and selling them, and that's how I ended up meeting you.
All right, so that's a good segue into it. Because I was thinking about it, trying to match up dates here. In 2015, you started towing. I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to the time we first met. I guess no homo shit, but you know, when you start digging through the Facebook groups, of course, you see everybody. You start to get a feel for the people you see in the regular. I was actually about to send you a screenshot of that fucking asshole with the crate. He's like, go fuck yourself, you cheap ass, right? That guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna take a screenshot and send it to you. Like $100 crate, you still got it. Ain't nobody buying that shit. Anyway.
Yeah, balance and blueprinted and no paperwork.
Yeah, so talked to you a bunch of times. Didn't talk to you a bunch of times. First, I saw you a bunch of times in the groups, and I don't remember what the fuck it was the first thing I bought from you. But I know it wasn't something that was. I think it was a bunch of things. It was like a bunch of little stuff.
Yeah, miscellaneous parts. Yeah, small stuff.
And the way you treated our first encounter is pretty much the way I treat other people when I first meet them. Like, hey, you know, open, fair, and always willing to, you know, do a little bit more, right?
Yeah,
Need some more shit, bro. Like, take some more shit.
Yeah.
Hit me up when you can, you know, that kind of shit. Yeah, so you gave me credit, I think, almost off rip. Not the very first buy.
Yeah.
I think it was about the second one.
Not for sure.
By the time we came back to the second one, yeah, go ahead, just take it. Just take it. You can pay me. You pay me.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's how it works. Like, some people you meet with, you link, and then you get a vibe for them, especially doing, you know, the Honda Acura thing. You guys are all kind of close. You get to feel out the fuck boys, and you get to feel out who's real. And that was the thing. Like, you came, got a couple parts, and we had talked a little bit then. You know, and then the next time came, felt a little better about the whole situation, and then it just evolved from there. Like, you know, I ended up buying a shelf from you and picking up a shelf from the storage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you end up buying my EG sedan. Rest in peace.
Rest in pieces somewhere in the bottom of a canal.
Pieces, yeah. But it's been a good run since then. Lots of parts and cars and fun stuff, shops and fun and headaches and more fun, and it's been a good run. Been a good 5 years.
Yeah, that was the best and only friend I got right now was through cars. So I guess it does, you know, car shit does work out. But yeah, I forgot about the shell in the storage. I was about to run out of time on that storage. Like, I get this shit out of here. Yeah, right. I dumped it on that bill, broke ass. But yeah, so from the shells where shit really took off. Like, we were already cool. We'd already done some shit, and then from there it's like, all right, now we're good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the first time I met your brother too. One of your damn twin brothers.
Yep.
And then I ran into the other motherfucker, the twin, when I was buying the engine off his boy, and I didn't even know they were fucking twins at the time. He's like, "Don't worry, bro. I'm not the other guy. I'm not him." I'm like, "Oh, what? Oh, okay."
It's definitely confusing.
Right. So there's that. Right? How far were we into it? Like a year or so after we met before we got the little spot together, or was it 2 years?
Yeah,
maybe
about
2 years.
About 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
You should get 2 years seems right because I think we were there for like 6 months or so.
Yeah, we
right?
were there for a little bit, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for you guys that have seen like the super early videos and shit, like you see me walk around at like a little storage spot, and then of course that goes to the video that you seen with his hatch. That was him that I had that with. I think it was like $600 a month for 2 bays.
Yeah.
Well, it was closer to 2.5 bays, to be honest. It was like 2.5 bays.
Nice.
And
4 cars with room.
yeah, and it had power, and we were able. He was able to finagle us into a 24-hour password. Because Mr. Blake over here is a fucking smooth talker. I can smooth talk some vagina, man, but I can't smooth talk guys like he does. But I'm not gonna judge them because we got that 24-hour passcode for that shit.
It's 2019, bro. Chill.
Right? Hey, I'm not judging because of 2019, right?
It's 2019.
If it's a his and hims, then it's all good, right?
Adam and Steve.
You're right. But oh fuck, you know, we were at the you missed the previews, right? And the previews, they were showing like a stick figure family and shit, and they were like being real quick about, oh, this person, that person, any couples, and they show 2 chicks together with 2 kids, like, and they went away real quick. I was like, when you want to be politically correct, but you don't want to be too politically correct,
right.
We like y'all, but we gave you some representation. We'll scooch out there real quick.
Skirt.
It's fucked up. But yeah, so I think at that point, I'd already been building engines for a while. I think, but I was still going a little bit at a time, and I was having no room. Like I don't know if I got videos of it, but I definitely do have pictures. If you look through VHB engines on Facebook, there's a lot of pictures of the old space, and it was not very spacious at all. I think it was probably about the size of this table, maybe a little less.
This man's house was full
and
parts.
We're back to a similar situation right now, but it's not as bad. Anyway, so we talked and we decided we'd go in on the storage, and it worked out really well. And the 24-hour password worked out really well because I like to do all my work at night. So I was able to pass by the shop late at night to do things, and the cars got worked on. That's how I was able to get the sedan up and running, and he was able to get the hatch up and running. And you were able to get it right. So so I think was it so tell me the story on the green hatch. So if your first car was 10 years ago, the GSR, how far back are we looking? So how far back does the hatch go?
The hatch actually was like right before Chris and I met. I actually had multiple Hondas in between then, multiple EGs. I had EM1, I had a bunch, and luckily none of them ever got stolen. They all got sold. I get bored of them quickly. I buy them, do my little thing to them, get rid of them. The hatch is the one I actually had the most love for. I bought that car as a stolen recovery with a clean title from the original owner. All original SI. The only thing the car didn't have was the motor, transmission, of course the harness, the 2 front seats, and the ECM. Everything else was all there. Other than that, the car was complete, clean, and the guy wouldn't take a total loss because he bought the car new and didn't want to see it go to a scrapyard. So I saw it, posted for $1,000, went over and offered the guy $800. He told me no. I let it marinate for a couple of days because it was a clean shell.
It was a clean shell.
It was super fucking clean. And in those couple of days, I actually was able to find some seats for the front, and he called me back, not the first day, but the second day, right as I got off of work. And at that time, I was still working for the law firm. I wasn't towing yet. So called me back and told me, bring him the 700, and he would sell me the car. So I actually called a couple different tow companies before I was towing. Got some crazy, outrageous quotes because they said it's like a little car and this, that, the other, and they didn't want to mess with it. It was lowered. However, it wasn't. It was just stock with fat tires because that's what they threw on the car when they ditched it. I ended up getting A-Boys Towing, one of my friends, to come out there. He towed the car for me for $50 back to the crib. And from there, it just was wildfire. Like, I fell in love with the car, washed it, did the whole inside, everything. And I decided I was going to go with a B16 Type R and started looking for it. So I found a CRX for parts, smashed in the rear. It was in Port St. Lucie. Me and my boy Jeff took a ride up there. When I get there, it was like a guy and his like stepson. They were arguing about his grades, and I swooped the car. He was asking $1,500. I gave him $800, and I brought the car back to Port St. Lucie. Started stripping it the same day. Sold a bunch of parts off of it. Put the B16 into my car. Went and bought a Hydro GSR. Threw that in my car. Got a harness. Threw that in. P28, and that's when the green hatch came alive.
What was your turnaround time? How long did you take before you were able to get it running?
About 3 weeks.
From the time you bought it?
From the time I bought it. 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely beats my rate.
Yeah, so that was the thing. I always had a love for the Hondas, especially if I bought them. I hate seeing them go to the junkyard, and I hate seeing them get wasted. So I'll try to resurrect them unless they're just too far gone. If they're too far gone, or they're automatic, they're going to the scrapyard. But that was my thing. Like, I was stuck on getting this SI up. And it's funny, like, the first night I ever took that car out to the races, like, it was like being in Fast and Furious. Everybody's like, bro, oh my God, this shit's so clean. At that point, I had Avid 1s on there, and the car was, lowered, and, camber kit, this, that, the other. Everybody's like, bro, that's the cleanest SI I've seen, blah, blah, blah. I ended up meeting another kid out there, Shane, who had the same exact car, just not an SI. And, linked up with him. We had the same color, just different stuff, different setup. That was my first legitimate race there, and I thought the car was great, and I got walked by a CRX B20 VTEC tuned, and that's when I ended up meeting my friend Lewis.
I was about to say, that was Lewis, right?
Yeah, walked the shit out of me, and he let me get him until third gear, and then he just took off and tried to tell me the car was stock. I mean, I knew better, but that's it. And of course, nobody opens their hood. So that was that. I lost a couple races and then decided to go bigger. So drove the car around with the B16 for a while and then started plotting in my head of what I was going to do. And met up with you, and then we had talked over plans and came up with like this monster motor that was going to go into the car. In the meantime, I just wanted to be able to drive it because I loved the car. So over the course of the next year and a half, we put a motor together.
Yeah, well, it did turn out to be a long thing, but it wasn't so quick. So the build,
it's being an adult.
The build comes pretty easy, man. That's another thing too. Like, I think it's not on Instagram. It might be something I could dig out of my pictures, but I know that we had the picture of both the engines sitting side by side in the truck.
Yeah, I have it on Facebook.
Yeah. So like that was right around that time. Like I think those two engines I built for the sedan and for the hatch were the last two engines I did at my trailer when I was living in the trailer park.
Yep.
And they both got transported to the shop, and both the swaps got done there. And I mentioned in that video, the old one, like where the very first startup, where you got the car there, you had the fucking swap and everything done, and you had the car running way faster than me, man. Yeah. And I think, I'm not sure at that time you already had the Integra shell or not.
Yeah.
I think the Integra,
it was already there.
But I'd been, of course, me looking for fucking shell all the time. You've kindly worked as my bank. I was like, if I can't get it, I just gotta finagle Blake into getting it, so that way I can get it from fucking Blake.
Hit a Blake Financial real quick.
Blake Financial institution.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can talk to these fucking guys a lot better than I can. I lose my patience real quick, and I was like, fuck you, fuck your mom, fuck your mom's mom, fuck your mom's dog.
Jesus.
Yeah, fuck the whole family. Go with the fucking cereal, fuck them all.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think we had okay, so that's another thing. See, this is paying off, right? When the fuck did you meet Eddie?
I actually met Eddie, and a lot of people don't know Eddie as well. He was in Oakland Park, and he was in a much smaller shop.
Eddie's from Genesis Automotive.
Yeah, Genesis Auto. A few people threw around his name, and it wasn't like as many as it is now, because we're talking back in 2015. Some people just threw the name around, and I was like, oh, okay, you mess with imports, go check him out. So, shot over there, met Eddie, and from day one, he was just super chill. And into the car, and pulled up, and he was like, well, shit's really clean. I'm in love with EGs, and walks me in the shop and shows me his EG, which he has, and the car's beautiful, all black, factory EG. I mean, motor-wise, not, but
I think you might have been the one that sent me this Eddie the first time I met him.
Yeah, Eddie's been a good plug. I've much help and much respect for Eddie, and of course I've went to him with every question that I asked you and you didn't have yet. So I went to Eddie, and that was my resource for a lot of stuff I didn't know or parts I couldn't find, and then I slowly became the person for parts they couldn't find. So it worked out really.
And that's exactly why I say that this game is big enough where we can all be helping each other. I think as many plugs and connections we can make in the community is the best thing possible.
Absolutely.
So I like to be able to talk to Alex, and that's why I like to be able to talk to you, like to be able to talk to Eddie. Everybody, man. Like it's not too often that you find somebody that's real serious about doing this shit. So when you do it, you gotta stick with them,
Yeah.
And of course that's why I like to see. That's why I try to reach out to so many people that are, that don't have the financial stability but have like the know-how or the smarts. Trying to lift people up, get them, prop them up to a point where they can take care of themselves, and then that's another plug for you.
Yeah.
And then of course, and then anything else I can bring their way. Like I've steered fucking Alex to work so many fucking times. It's like It's crazy. I don't even know how many times I've steered this fucking guy work. I know he's made some decent money for me without me buying parts. I haven't bought parts off him in a long time, but I know that dude's made some money off me. Because I know some of the jobs I sent him, he's charged like $800 for, so god damn it.
Yeah.
So anyway, and those are two names of the people I'd like to get. I'd like to eventually get Eddie to sit down with me and Alex. Those are two guys I would definitely like to talk to. Eddie especially because of the fact that he's already successful. He's now tuning. So Eddie tunes himself and he's got the big ass fucking shop. He's doing very well for himself. Well enough where, like he's one of the guys that I would trust to actually work on my car besides myself, and then I can't ever get him. So that just goes to show how busy that fucking guy is.
Yeah. That'd be his thing.
So okay, then we had I left for a couple years. That's a weird part of my life to talk about. Like it didn't go the way I wanted it to, but it did. It did and it didn't. Like it fucking it did achieve what I set out to do, but it didn't. And then it also made me evolve and grow in a way I didn't expect.
I mean, it was kind of an emotional breakup. They say if you love something, you set it free, and if it comes back, it's meant to be. And it was like, he really came back. And when he came back, his first ride was in my hatch, so I knew it was mine.
Right? Yeah, that was some scary shit, man. It been so long since I've been in a fast car. That car did rip dick, man. It ripped dick. Bro, that car did not look fast on camera, but the car was fucking fast.
Yep.
And look, just recently, when I went to the first Honda day, I went to Maryland. I went sitting up in Homeboy's G37. Eric, shout out by chance if you're watching this shit, dude. The car was quick. It was respectably quick, but there was not one time where I was fucking emotional about it. Never one time I was like, oh my god. Never once. The car was, the car pulled.
Pull up that video. He was like, oh my god, first day back, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, that car fucking scooted, man. Like, I would have liked to have been able to dig into it a little bit more, but it's fine. We can always do another one. We're gonna do another one.
Definitely.
K is definitely the way we're going, so more power.
K is the way.
And definitely getting more power on these engines. All right, now I guess now the new race is just to see which one of us finishes the car first this time. We'll be surprised. So yeah, of course, I have the impact at the house. I couldn't do shit today because of drugs. Fuck, dude. Like, okay, man. So I'm telling you, I was fucked up, right? I was fucking.
For those who don't know, man.
Okay, so normally, so last time I was at the VA talking about muscle problem, I was like, hey, look, this shit you give me for like the last 5 years doesn't work. It's pussy ass shit. I need something stronger. They're like, all right, okay, Jeff, we got you. So they give me these fucking two big ass pill bottles, right? One pill bottle is for pain. The other pill bottles for muscle relaxer, right? They're both like this big, the tablets, right? This big. The tablets are this big. They're tiny as fuck, right? They could easily fit inside of a dick hole. We're just not talking about that. Okay? Don't ask questions.
Guys,
don't ask questions, right? Right? So, I heard it. It goes fast. Anyway, so I got to the point where when they first gave them to me, I was taking them like I was supposed to, like twice. Both these things are supposed to be twice a day, mind you, right? Both were twice a day. But I realized when I took them and went to work that I was like fucked up, dude. So I can't do this. I called it the second time I did it, and I realized it was the medication that was fucking me up because I'm slow. I decided I wasn't going to take these anymore unless I really, really needed to. So when I really need to nowadays, I just take the muscle relaxer, just the muscle relaxer. I really was fucked up. I was really fucked up, so I took them both. An hour later, boom, I was out, son. Unconscious. Like, I'm talking about, like, blackout drunk.
In
fucked up.
Sleep.
Yeah, bro, like,
like Facebook about 12 hours later.
So, when you get really fucked up, like, you're really drunk, and then, like, you go to stand up, and you're fucking still fucked up, and you're like, oh, does it feel, like, so heavy? That's how it was. Like, I transferred from the back couch to the living room couch. The back couch where you fucking guys think is my living room, but it's not. It's the back room couch. So I got drugged from that couch to the fucking, to the living room, from the living room to the bed, and then I woke up pain-free, but my neck was cranked because I slept 15 hours.
The man straight up Bill Cosby himself.
Putting pop. Right, so the fucked up thing was there was the fights, right? There's the main event. It was Jermaine Durand to me and Aspen Ladd, and I was like, as soon as I saw that fight, I was like, this bitch gonna be a walkthrough. Aspen Ladd, literal lad, got walked through. I don't know how the fuck it happened, dog. I didn't hear any of the other fights. I didn't hear the walk-on music, nothing. I woke up, and as I woke up, I did like a weekend at Bernie's wake up. I woke up like this and looked over just in time to catch the right hook. Blah! Put the little girl down. Fight ended. One fucking shot. I was like, yeah, I knew it. Knocked the fuck back out. Right the fuck back to sleep, man. But yeah. Anyway, so I went up north. Didn't work out the way I planned it. I didn't think it was gonna go that way. So I'm not gonna go over details.
It's always a fucking cursing.
That's
fucking asshole.
That's a whole nother fucking video, right? It's a whole nother video. But like I plan to go up there, do the resume fluff, do 2 years, come back home, use that to get a better job here. Didn't work out that way, and now it taught me some shit to make me realize I don't want to focus on even ever going back into management. Just keep my head low, do the basic work that I can, get paid, and then eventually VHB engines. That's definitely the goal, 110% now. But I did reconnect with family. It almost fucked up my life, but it did it in a good way, like good and bad. Like family was good, wife wasn't so good about it. But the revolutionary thing that happened, the different thing was it cut me off from all my parts.
Spear fingers.
It cut me off from all my parts. Couldn't buy parts anymore. Had to find a new way to talk on YouTube. I knew it was going to be a problem. I just didn't know how I was going to address that problem. And so then I started making the discussion videos, me sitting down talking on the camera. And that's when VHB Engines became VHB Engines for real and blew up and took off and everything. And now we're doing this. This is something I wanted to do. Didn't know how to do it. And then I figured it out. And it doesn't have to be anything serious. It just can be this. This is me just talking. And now we can see we're 20-something minutes into it, 26 minutes into it. And that was pretty easy, pretty quick. So came back, so came back. It was somewhat planned. I think, of course, I gave you a heads up. Heads up just like a month ahead.
Couple months before. Like a month and a half, 2 months.
Like I'm coming back. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm coming back. See, that's the fucked up thing. That's the good thing. Well, the good thing has always been like I've always had jobs. Have always been security. I've always been able to move back to a job and have a car. Move back to a home is a whole nother thing. That's another pain in the ass. So VHB Engines did take a little bit of a nosedive, a hard face plant for a little bit. You know, I was staying with you. I was staying in your room, and you know, of course, grace of God type deal.
He was not staying in your room. He was in another room.
I was the gremlin under the fucking bed. You look down, all you see is teeth and eyes.
That's it, right?
Yo, take a sandwich. Motherfucker, roll the fuck over, dog. You forgot to bring a sandwich. Throw the fucking sandwich on you. Man, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? It worked all out though, man. Like fucking and that now, of course, the whole idea is trying to see where it goes from here. Now, we both moved from that place. You've moved out of there, and then I fucking, of course, I got my place last July. As a matter of fact, it popped up in memory. The day I moved into my crib was July 4th. Yes. I moved in. It was July 4th. Yeah. So that was something.
Independence Day from the crib.
Oh yeah! I finally went out on my own. Got my independence from Blake. But I'm like a bad ex-girlfriend, man. We can't seem to wait for each other. It's been a couple years. The feelings are still there. Fuck, man. So of course, you know, the love of the gaming never faded, man. I think was it even it was even your fucking friend that I met. The buying the RSX gel was fucking completely.
Oh, okay.
That was your fault too.
Yeah, James.
Yeah, you son of a bitch. Well, we were looking for a B20, and his homeboy had the B20 in his crib. Went there, got the B20.
Fucking Wendell.
Oh, Wendell's Jamaican friend. It wasn't Jamaican.
Yeah.
It was Jamaican.
Buddy,
yeah. It was James's roommate, Wendell's friend. Cousin's roommate. So yeah, picked up the B20 for that build that went out to Oregon.
Yep.
And in the process, picked up a shell. Or not at the same night. It was one of those things. Hey, let's talk about it. Come get a shell. And then you got that goddamn RSX that I'm now driving that smells like cigarettes to this day. To this day!
Not my fault. I don't smoke.
That's not his fault. It doesn't smoke. But yeah, the fucking guy that had it for me for a while smoked. That was funny. And that just goes to show that not everybody can be treated equally as much as you'd like to be. Like you tried to do that guy solid, just saying we tried to do me, hook him up, do some basic payments. Of course, it ain't a credit thing, but you know this is an honor thing, honor based system. But if you don't,
that's it, bro.
But if you don't pay me, I'm taking my shit back.
Yeah.
The benefits of having a tow truck, dog. Ain't no discussion. I'm taking my shit back.
You about to what?
I got my title still, and now I got my car back.
Oh yeah.
That's great. It's yeah, and then there's so you.
Shout out to the Hasbro mount.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. So yeah, the guy was stupid. He put fucking extra parts in the car that he shouldn't have. He's giving you soft stories on why he couldn't fucking pay you, but he was spending like $500-$600 on wheels, $500-$600 on mounts. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Even I'm not that fucking retarded, man.
I was happy to get the car back.
I'm
sure you were happy to get the car.
Yeah, man. Fuck. So I went on there and talked about making that I was gonna boost the shell, and I wanted to put it in the car anyway, get it for you now. Of course, you still got to do the Band-Aid shit, all the extra stuff. But I'm sure you're gonna find a way to fucking get it going without fucking killing yourself about it. Yeah, fucking dick. Now the real question is, you're actually gonna be able to commit to boost or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. Oh, see, I think.
I already had the booster card. Can't go back to NA.
Well, if I'm gonna make the official announcement now. I think I am gonna go ahead and bite the bullet and just do a fucking not top mount, but a fucking what is it? What is shit called? The log manifold. Yes. Log manifolds are pieces of shit. Get them for the B and D series all the time because you know you can only go. It's a big power crusher. It crushes your power. But you can still get the 500 mark with that shit. And there are people that I've seen with log manifolds doing 700, 800 horsepower, right? So my goals are only 500 range. I'm still on pump with the K24, so I'm gonna bite the bullet and get the fucking top mount. Now the top mount, the reason why, or not top mount, god damn it, the fucking log manifold. The reason why I was avoiding the log manifold is because all that extra tubage, you need. It looks ugly, man. Coming up and over, but yeah, I don't pop the hood. That's what I say all the time anyway. I don't care if my car looks ugly. Give a shit.
It's gonna be fast.
Bro, you should use a hole saw, bro, so it's clean. Shut up, bitch. I ain't popping my hood for you. Fuck.
Chris cutting holes.
Check
another one out.
Man, that was a funny story. I was texting you, I was like, well, this is a fucking problem. I posted this shit on Facebook, and you're like, well, just cut it. I'm like, I don't want to cut it. 5 minutes later, I got a picture. I was like, well, looks like I'm gonna cut it. So I go in and get some safety glasses, and I'm literally standing on top of the saw. It's rotating in my fucking face till it sparks up my nose. I cut it. I cut the fuck out of it. And then I stuck the pipe on to see if it went in the hole, and then I cut it some more. And then I was like, yes, success.
You always start with a little more so you can take some away.
Right, yeah.
Just in case.
And then, then I go take this fucking bended ass intercooler pipe and I go stick it on there and it's sticking out like 16 feet. Another text message. Fuck. But man, do people love to chime in on some basic ass shit though, bro. Like everybody's like, I think it's like when you post on social media and shit, people are like, oh my god, I know this one. I'm a genius. Let me throw my advice out to you, bro. Like, it's like, I guess it's like some dumbass sitting at home listening to Jeopardy. Like, oh my god, I know this. I could be on the show. Bitch, you knew one answer.
That's it.
You knew one answer.
First 2 questions.
Gotta stop. It was the 200 question, bitch. It's not a $500 question. Man, brother, you should definitely use a hole saw. You shouldn't have cut it so jacked, bro. It looks disgusting.
In my professional opinion, I would use PVC pipe. Couplings of PVC.
Hot glue, fuck that. Fuck no hot glue. Just melt it a little bit.
That's it.
Melt it together, and then that works.
At the same time, pull out your crack stem, just go for it.
Man, dude. Well, hey, as a matter of fact, I was gonna ask you earlier. Do you got any of those rubber couplers or not? Any of those laid around? I might have some too. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't fucking looked.
I do have parts here for you.
Oh.
I have another Dizzy. I have some Password JDM parts that I found too.
Stuff in the corner. It's got the mildew package.
Like it. It's brand new stuff. Brand new.
Oh,
Password JDM is gone.
Oh, I need the. No, I'm just gonna eyeball zip ties. Just haven't done it yet. And the rubber broke on the fucking bumper. Those things. Don't use those guys. Those things are fucking terrible.
Quick release?
Yeah, the quick release are terrible. Don't use a quick release unless you have a race car. If you have a race car and you legit need a fast way to get your fucking bumper off, then by all means. But if you're not taking your bumper off on a regular, don't drill holes in your bumper and your fucking fender to put those gas things on. They dry rot and pop.
Notice how he just said, if you have a race car.
If you have a race car, then fucking by all means.
That does not mean your Corolla on rims needs quick release.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there's actually a pretty badass set of quick releases I saw at Honda Day.
The snap-ons?
Yeah, they snap into place.
Yeah.
It's like you just line up and.
Yeah, they're pretty dope.
Yeah, man, I mean, like, I wasn't really there for the car so much as I was for meeting people, but man, like, some of the race cars I saw was pretty badass. Like, when the flappy things, like, instead of cutting holes in the bumper, they had the flappy things.
Yeah.
So when they haul that flaps just lifted up with the airflow, and it looks clean. So anyway, the flappy things. And what the fuck else was it? Oh, listen to one of the guys, there was one of the fast dudes there, he's talking about, yeah, I made him nervous, I treat him, and then he's playing catch up the whole time, I beat him, he's faster than me, but I won. I'm like, new terminology, didn't hear that. Race lingo, yeah, it's great, but I understand what it means just by hearing it. That's a motivation like a motherfucker, dude. Like going and being amongst these fucking giants that are running out there single digits. Kind of puts new perspective on a lot of shit, man. I think maybe next year we should do something together. Just plan a trip to go. I'm gonna go back.
I'm down. I was kind of jealous. I was looking at pictures and stuff. I was like, damn, why'd I have to be an adult at work?
Right. Well, we'll see.
No vacation.
Yeah, plan out ahead of time. Well, I don't even know, man. Like, I just talked about the other day. My humble trip got fucked, and the only way that's gonna happen this year at this point is if I sell an engine. Like, and then I guess I could work around that. I have to sell something big. I can't just sell labor. Labor's not enough to send me on a flight. I have to sell an engine. I need $800 to $1,000 to be able to pull this one off.
Get 10% off today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Discount. Actually, I'm gonna, I gotta finish this, do single cam, and then, I'm gonna put the K20 back on the stand, and hopefully sell that as a complete engine. I mean, hopefully it'll sell. But even then, that fucking money's going to the TL. But the fact is, that money goes to the TL. I don't have to pay the TL, and that's money that I have in my pocket. So it all balances out. So I do need to sell an engine. I would like very much to sell an engine. Somebody buy an engine.
Or a TL.
Or TL. No, I like the TL. But the TL soon, man. I'm not gonna let that one sit, dude. Like, the car runs, so we gotta figure out what the fuck is wrong with that, because I want that driving. And I'm, probably about to turn in the plate for the RSX and down that car. So that's why I'm waiting for the machine shop to get back to me. I'm surprised they didn't already. But tomorrow's Monday, so I guess at this point it could be like any day now. Yeah. Well, if they hit me up tomorrow, I'm gonna just tell them I'll pick up Tuesday. That's just gonna have to be. But then Jesse also said he's sending me rings, so I can't really get to finish that block until I get the rings. But yeah, that block will be assembled. I have it. Well, I got $30 for a head gasket, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, that long block will be together, ready for the RSX soon. And so it's just me putting it in the fucking car, which shouldn't be so much of a hassle because we're looking for turbo, and I'm going to swap over all the missing pieces, and this time I have the belts. See, I tried to get it as much complete for yours as I could, but the thing was I was only going off of what I took from the last one I got from you. Yeah, the last car. Let's get the fucking part out of the swap. When the one, the junk ass shell.
Oh, the brown car.
Yeah, so everything that I took off of that car is what went into the black RS6.
Yeah.
And anyway, you still at the end of the day you're winning out because that car's gonna be much cleaner than the fucking one I'm in. I'm like, now that it's close, I'm like, fuck.
Hashtag leather.
Right.
Hashtag black.
Man, dude. It's a clean body. It smells factory new inside, and especially for the fact that it's been sitting so long. I'm surprised how fucking clean it
there's no
smells.
water and mildew. That's always dope.
Yeah. Well, it didn't have the problem. Like, well, I guess the Integra, the window keeps creeping down on me. That son of a bitch. But it's surprising it hasn't mildewed or rotted inside. So thank God for that. YOLO for the Integra. So so I guess now you can plug in any fucking plugs you want for the fucking towing. I don't know if you got it. You don't have a work phone number anymore, do you?
I have my personal that I use for work.
But I don't know if you want to put that on the internet.
I mean, it don't really matter.
That's up to you.
Who's gonna chase me down? So 24/7 towing guys, roadside lockouts, jump starts, whatever the hell you need. Broke down in a Honda, stuck. You want to get rid of it? Holler at me. But yeah, 954-300-6623. And if you're extremely pissed with your car, I will buy it and I will talk you into it. You won't have it anymore. I'll hand you cash and you'll be upset the next day. But as long as you have the title, I'm not giving it back to you. Yeah. So then it'll be my new car, just like the TL that Chris is gonna get from me, and many other Hondas that I've taken in along the way. So
yes, definitely. If you got something that you don't want to deal with anymore, hit it up. Even if it's a blown engine, there might be always something too slow. But what's your range? How far do you go?
I go anywhere all the way to West Palm Beach, down into Miami, and of course it all depends on what you're willing to pay. I treat every car like it's my own. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that comes out there and wants to fuck up your lowered car because I loved all my Hondas, and if somebody disrespected my shit and fucked me up, I'd be pretty pissed. So I keep all the clearance in mind for the oil pans, tilt everything, chain it the right way, throw whatever I have to do. If I have to put logs down to get the tires on to put it on the lift to clear your oil pan, I'll do it. I'm not like these other guys who are down to fuck your shit up, piping, whatever. I'm really wanting to take care of your car and have you happy when you get where you're going.
Yeah, it's good enough to where even I'm still willing to pay, even though we're like family. So if I'm still willing to fucking chalk out money for it, then it's worthwhile. It's good shit. So it's definitely somebody to keep in the back of your head because he's gonna answer you when you call or when you hit him up. And especially if you're trying to get rid of something again, like if you're trying to get rid of something, because I can pick at it too.
That's it. Hondas and Acuras, I really don't care what they are, preferably manual, but I will buy automatics if they're clean enough. Title, no title, giving up on a project, I'll take it, cash in hand.
All right, man, good. So good shit. Thanks for watching. And Thanks y'all for tuning in. Now we got a good sample, a taste of what we can expect in the future. Of course, length isn't specific. It's just I'm just gonna go off natural flow. Like where we find the natural point to break is where it's just gonna be at. And this is probably not gonna be the last time you see Blake. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna be on here many more times as the time goes by over the next couple of years. So
For sure.
stick around, fam. Bye everybody.